So Ryno Coetzer, I'm from Eskom in South Africa. I work in Eskom's strategy and planning department. So Eskom is a vertically integrated utility in South Africa, so we've got generation, transmission, distribution. We're currently undergoing an unbundling phase where we're firstly going to take the transmission sector out to establish an electricity market in South Africa so they can act as the system operator and the market operator. In terms of my role, it's strategy and planning in corporate. So there's a subdivision in strategy and planning called business intelligence. So what we try to do is identify trends that are happening globally and locally, which could influence our strategy as Eskom. So that's sort of my role, and that's what I do in Eskom. So what I specifically do is a lot of analysis on the electricity sector itself, so specifically on generators. So I look a lot at how the cost components of different technologies change and what we should be assuming in some of our models. I also do a lot of work in assisting our energy modeling department to consolidate all the assumptions that they need to use in their energy modeling activities, whether it's for the medium-term system adequacy outlook. We also work with government a bit on our IRP. So from Eskom's perspective, get together all the assumptions that they need to model. So my work at this point, it fluctuates quite a bit. So we do analytics across different sectors, but at this point, that's a lot of the focus. But it's sort of before the modeling starts, what do we need to consider, which assumptions do we need to make? So I look at what all the technical experts give, see whether it makes sense, whether it's aligned to what we're seeing in other areas. That's my key role at this point. So it's definitely essential to Eskom at this point. It's been institutionalized, both in South Africa and in government a little bit. I mean, we do triangulate with other systems, but at this point, it's the key energy system simulation tool that we use. So it's definitely critical for us to identify where the gaps will be, what the most optimal expansion mix would be for South Africa. And that's, yeah, it plays a crucial role at this point in our planning and developing our strategies going forward. From Eskom's perspective, the coal fleet that I mentioned in the country, we own 99.5% of that coal fleet, and we do realize the impact that it has on targets, especially for the country, and we are trying to mitigate that. So we are looking at different avenues. I would say, obviously there's a lot of things that you could do, but our main focus at this point is to see when the optimal shutdowns would be for that coal fleet without impacting security of supply in the country. So that's sort of the biggest challenge. You can say shut down all your coal fleet now, or at least expedite the shutdown, but that doesn't make any sense if you don't have electricity security. So we're trying to balance those two aspects. And we also are pursuing cleaner generation projects as Eskom. So if we obviously need to think about our business sustainability going forward and how do we replace assets that we will be shutting down. And most of the assets we're planning are cleaner sources, the ones that we want to build ourselves. I would say the main thing that stands out to me is the fact that the discussions with the Energy Exemplar team here highlights that it's not just a tool. So there's so much more that you can get out of it. I mean, the guys have visibility over globally what different countries are focusing on and the strategies and the sort of pain points and the things that you need to think about. And I think that really stood out to me, and it's something that I'll use a bit more, reach out and find out what they see other clients doing. And I just think that the sort of network that they create, because they've got insights to like let's say the top team shaping the energy futures of a lot of countries, they create the ability for those guys to network and to learn from each other and to get insights and to learn from mistakes and learn from wins. So that's definitely been an eye-opener. To me, it was in the networking. So hearing what other people are thinking, it's not just numbers. You can get so much more out of just telling somebody, listen, Eskom is thinking about this, what have you seen? I think as Eskom and South Africa, we also have the almost privilege to be able to learn from a lot of countries that has already gone through what we are going now. So getting that sort of insight and the networking opportunities was really great from Xcelerate.